Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League where the grind continues. We are back with our second match of the night, taking things down a little bit to the Prospect League, where we have Banshees coming in with a 4-3 record going up against Faded with a 3-4 record. So expect a close matchup tonight. Your boy Psychonaut in booth, ready to bring you that action straight to your living area. And I am joined in the booth by the legendary Flurry member, my friend Poppy Pepperoni. How you doing tonight, my man?
I am thriving, and I really missed out on Monday. It was so boring not having a stream to watch or cast. So it's a little bit of, built up energy for this match right here. And we're in the Prospect League. Me and you are at home for this one. So I couldn't be more hyped to get some action rolling. And I'm in the booth with the GOAT, so let's see how it goes.
Hey, I appreciate the shout out. And I don't know, like we have this problem with not being able to see everybody that's in the lobby. So I don't know if everybody's here. We are a little bit behind of schedule. So let me get straight out the gate. Let me get from you, Magic Pepperoni, based on what you know, based on your prospect knowledge, these two teams, who do you think's taking it here?
Well, I think Banshees are probably the better team. I think Faded's won like two in a row, and they were like not slouches of wins. I think they just found Wyverns, and Wyverns are like a top two team, I think. So I think Fade is taking this, and I'm not afraid to say this either goes a sweep or goes 3-1 Faded. I think I'm pretty confident in them today.
And we'll see if that is going to play out. Just to note the rosters real quick as we get into game number one. Faded's got Eggster, Hanser.rl, and Vicious Oreo, while Banshees is rocking with Rilo, Hits, and Shaggy, which actually is a recent free agent. They're using him because Jimmy has a broken controller. Jimmy's their normally rostered player, but he's not going to be able to play tonight. So Shaggy is filling in for him. And let's see if that is able to work out. The first 30 seconds now gone from the game. Neither of these teams able to get a goal yet or even mount very much offense. Faded got two shots. So they've done a little bit, but not able to find the back of the net yet with almost a minute gone. The ball floating in the midfield. Rilo's up, gets the touch, send it down to Faded's corner. Vicious Oreo having a 50 with Rilo, goes all the way across. Hits is going to put it into the corner. Panzer not ready to let it through. Panzer playing defense in the midfield, gets it past two, but can't get this touch off of the wall. Hits getting a ghost touch there. Exer having a shot, but just a little bit slow to the ball, not able to beat out the defenders. The ball gets sent all the way back. Panzer going to be there for the save. And we got a little over a minute gone so far, Pepperoni, and not too much going on. Faded a little bit more aggressive than Banshees, it looks like, but I think Banshees are just warming up.
Yeah, and one thing to be happy about for both these teams is you cannot tell that any nerves are involved right now. I'm not seeing any whiffs. It is very solid rotations. I'm not seeing one team. It's like, wow, they're so much better right now. It's back and forth, both teams taking turns on each other's side of the field. But I do think it's going to have to be Riley from the Banshees, what I've seen so far. And this one is a little bit dangerous, and it is still dangerous, but Rilo, the man of the hour, I just called him out, and he's going to come up clutch and put that ball out of the danger zone, and he's going to keep this at 0-0.
Rilo with the goal line save right there. Big W for his team right there. Still keeping the goal line at 0. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Time is ticking down. Looks like the Banshees are starting to heat up, trying to get a little bit more aggressive offensively. Hits coming through and clobbering the opposition, getting the 50. Ball goes up the sidewall. Rilo trying to reposition, gets a touch past one, but Exter going to take it away from him, put it off of the backboard of Banshees. The ball does get cleared all the way back. Faded going to have a little time to set up here. And a mistouch comes out from the Banshees. Rilo sends it into his corner. Rilo leaving it for somebody who wasn't there. Vicious Oreo missing his touch, trying to get a carry right there, but not going to be able to. Hits, puts it out to the mid. Shaggy's there, but Vicious Oreo is as well to send it down. In less than 2 minutes on the clock, and I don't know. Nobody scored yet, Pepperoni, but based on what you're seeing, who do you think has the advantage out of these two teams?
Honestly, I'm impressed with Banshees right now. They're showing a lot more poise than I expected. I kind of expected Faded to come out and just punch him in the mouth. And
Oh,
Rilo, that's the guy I was waiting to see. That's easily the carry for this roster, if you ask me. And he's going to take the lead for his team.
hits with a good 50. Working out well to send that ball down. And Rilo, quick to the ball, quick with it, gets the double touch off the post, puts it past the defender, takes the lead for the Banshees. And it's a 1-0 game now with 1 minute and 33 seconds left on the clock. Faded now on their heels, having to pick up the pieces to tie things up. Rilo with a big bump on Exter, hits in there to help him out. Panzer pops it up to keep it away from Faded's net. Exter with the carry, gets the flick in the midfield. Exter with the second touch, but can't get it past Banshee's defense. Shaggy pops it up. This is awkward and could be dangerous. Panzer's up for it, gets the touch, and ties us up at 1.
A very nice shot by Panzer here, but that all came off the back of all the pressure that Exter just by himself puts on. The amazing flick, gets skied, and is able to put a shot on target. Basically, just beats out all three, and Panzer has the easy job to put it away. So, didn't take long for them to counterattack and get a tying goal. Maybe they can get their
Faded as they seem to be controlling most of the pressure, but they have a much lower shot accuracy than the Banshees right now.
Yeah, most of the start of the game was a lot of pressure for the Banshees, and it seems like the last 2 minutes or so after that goal came through from Rilo, it's been mostly faded pressure, and that's kind of been the case so far in this early overtime. As Rilo is trying to turn that around and maybe get control of this game. One is that shot almost finds the back of that. Shaggy tries to finish it off, but the defense stands strong. And I don't know, Psycho. I think we might have a long overtime in front of us because I'm not seeing a lot of passing plays or scary situations since those first two goals.
You might be right about that, as Hits is going to get his third save of this game. Banshees defense just unpenetrable at this point, and honestly Faded also doing a really good job on defense themselves. Both of these teams just locking down their goals and not allowing their opposition to get through. We are now 1 minute and 8 seconds into this game one overtime in this best of 5 series. Hits with the backboard double, but Vicious Oreo gonna stay in front of it, get the save. Extra for the clear, straight to Shaggy in the midfield. Panzer to take it away from him, and Hits is gonna clear that one all the way out. Shaggy looking for the redirect, but Vicious Oreo beats him to it. Vicious Oreo picking up his savior medal in game number 1. Hits out of the corner, gets it past Panzer, gets it past Egster, and it looked like he might have got it past the third. Hits is still there with it. Vicious Oreo gonna stifle his push. Shaggy gets it over too, but his shot just barely gonna miss, and it's not gonna go in. We are almost at 2 minutes now, Pepperoni. So you're definitely right. We've got quite the overtime on our hands.
Yeah, and a lot of the pressure is coming from Hits right now. He flicks it past one, beats out another, and the rotations are so good from Faded that there's another guy just waiting to save the day. A lot of times in Prospect, you beat one guy and oh, look at that, the net's open. But that's not the case for now. Hits has the open net, and he will be the guy to end the game with 718 points. and he's going to take game one for Banshees.
And 2 minutes and 15-second overtime coming to a close. Hits with a good heads up play right there. Gets the touch, puts it over the last defender, takes the game one dub for the Banshees. Moving into game number 2, Pepperoni, I'm not expecting or anticipating a lot of changes from either of these teams, to be honest. Maybe Faded knows a couple of mistakes that they made, but to me, both of these teams looked really solid on the field in game 1.
Yeah, and I think the reason for the low scoring affair is these two teams have the exact same play style. Like there is not much of anything. It's like, wow, I want to see the other team do that because that really worked out. It was just basic rotations, putting shots on target when you had the chance. And there were a few times where Banshees had a shot at the net, and I think they just hit it off backboard. I think Rilo had a couple. But going into game two, it's got to be Exter for the or excuse me, for Faded. I think he's a season 6 All Star. This guy is not a slouch. I think he's one of the best players to prospect, and he did end up on the bottom of the scoreboard last game. So I'm calling on Exter to even the series up for Faded.
And Faded might also want to look into shutting down Hits if Hits is able to carry the momentum that he gained pretty much in overtime of game number 1, as Banshees were pretty low on the shot side of things, but by the end of it, Hits had 7 shots to his name. If he's able to carry that sort of momentum here into game number 2, Faded might be in trouble.
Yeah, and pretty much he like 718 points for hits.
Yeah.
He popped off last game, and that cannot happen in game two if they're gonna win because it looks like Rilo has so much energy just pent up, and if he gets going, he has such a pop off potential for this team, and it could get dangerous really quickly.
And we see the double commit come out for Banshees, but they were able to get the ball cleared. So no problems there. Exter with a mistouch in the midfield up to Vicious Oreo. Back to Exter, but the defense of Banshees is going to take the ball away. Panzer keeping the pressure for Faded. Trying to get it around Hits in the corner. He successfully does, but Shaggy waiting for him front post is going to take it away from him. Exter trying to get the ball back out in front of net, but Rilo with the booming clear up to Shaggy off the backboard. Hits is there, but he misses the touch. It's not going to go in. Rilo trying to keep the pressure alive. Exter shutting it down, and Faded now going to look to set up for some offense unless Hits able to get there up to Shaggy. Shaggy looking for the double. Exter going to take it away from him. Hits, puts it out towards the mid. Rilo not able to get to the ball fast enough, but he does win the 50 against Panzer, looking for the second touch. Can't find it. The ball is dangerously floating in the mid, and Shag's going to shank his shot. 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, Pepperoni, and I've seen more than a few dropped opportunities from Banshees here.
I completely agree, but I mean, we called on Faded to control hits, and just for until a second there, he had 6 points total. I mean, he is working his way up now, but that's pretty much nullifying the problem from last game so far. But now they got to get the offense going because I think they've spent a little too much time on their own defensive half. Hopefully, Exter can get something going here at the 50. But so far, it is a lot of just 50s and banging the ball downfield and hoping for something to happen from both teams.
And that's pretty much what we saw, or a lot of what we saw in game number 1, until one of these teams was able to get a goal. And then it opened up a little bit more. Rilo missing his, and Shaggy trying to come in to clean it up. Gets the shot, but Vicious Oreo is able to make the stop. Excuse me. Vicious Oreo off the backboard. Shaggy putting one on, but Vicious Oreo going to get in front of that one. Send it across the pitch. Rilo into the Faded's quarter. Rilo to follow. He's going to leave it for Hits. Hits with the shot, but the ball gets bounced away by the defense. Oreo puts it into Banshee's corner. Rilo to take it away from him, and Panzer to take it from him in the midfield. We're seeing more back and forth, but Panzer's going to come in and secure the first goal for Faded and the first lead that they've been able to get this series.
Hits with the mistouch, and then he just fire burners against Rilo and bumps the goalie out of the way. And pretty much same timing for our first goal as the last game, as finally the icebreaker for what seems like forever of the same game style from both teams going on finally comes through. And maybe the answer from Exter or from Panzer, but it doesn't look like it. As I don't know if Banshee's going to have the firepower to get an equalizer and a game winner in regulation what they have left.
They might not, but we did see that Banshees can gear up at the end of the game. So we'll have to see if they're able to do that here. They can activate that clutch gene in the final minute and 20
Oh,
seconds. Hits, getting in front of Exter's shot there, making the stop on the goal line. Shaggy is there to try and clear the ball out in the midfield. Exter gets a touch. It's up. Hits is going to
God.
put a banger on net.
I mean, they took control and nullified him for 4 minutes, but the man could not be held back any longer. What a pass from Shaggy and a clanger from Hits. Good luck saving that one, Panzer, as the equalizer does come through. And you were right, Psycho, and I was wrong. This team has more in the tank than what they showed in the first few minutes.
74 miles an hour. Whew, what a heater from Hits there.
Oh,
And
no
Hits
way.
trying to body his way through, but Panzer going to take it away from him. Shaggy can't get it through the defense. Egster going to have to 50 with Rilo as the ball gets pinched all the way across the pitch into the Banshees corner. Hit is going to clear the ball out. Hits still there on the sidewall, sends it all the way across. Shaggy looking for a touch, going to have to 50 with Panzer. Vicious going to take it away from him. 50s with Rilo as the ball gets pinched off the ceiling. Hits, putting it in front of the net, but Panzer going to beat Shag out to the ball. Final 30 seconds remaining. We might, just might, Pepperoni, have another OT on our hands.
Yeah, unless Exter can find this demo, he's trying so hard. But Hits is going to clear it. He has boost to work with when he gets dunked out by Vicious Oreo. With the last 15 seconds left to go here, I think you're right. I think we got some OT in our hands for game 2.
And I would love to see a Game 5 series, every single game going to OT 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, give me the content. You love to see it. The final second,
Oh, no
Panzer's
way.
there. He puts it
my-
on Exter, gets the boot, and gets it through the defense. A 0-second goal to secure the win for Faded.
Shaggy just had to get a piece of that off the bounce on the corner and could not do so. And then it was just pandemonium for the last two defenders. Faded, they are going to tie the series back up as they will not allow any every game overtimes for Psycho. They're going to ruin your day and even the series up. So I guess that's a win either way. Give us a longer series.
That's very true. That's very true. Hats off to Faded taking that one. Very good win from them. Would have loved to see it to go to OT, but I gotta admit, Pepperoni, those 0-second goals that come through, they're almost always just. I mean, it's almost as good as an OT, to be honest with you. It's it feels good. I've had it happen to me before. I've had it happen against me, and it feels terrible as well. But Faded's got to be swimming off that one.
Yeah, something to think about. That just kills the momentum for the Banshees. They win game 1, and you're about to go into overtime to maybe take a 2-0 lead in the series, really commanding control of a crucial matchup here on Wednesday. And for a last-second goal to just ruin that and tie the series up out of nowhere, that hurts. So if Faded's going to win this game, I think they're going to pop off really early and use that momentum they have from game 2.
We'll see if they're able to do that as we move into the crucial game number 3, and we take this one under the sea. And honestly, this one is going to be pretty important. Whoever wins this sets themselves up for match point in this best of 5 series. Shaggy trying to get it out, but Panzer to keep it in. Panzer again with the touch. Shaggy going to send it away. Hits can't get the clear as Vicious Oreo is going to take the ball from him. Vicious Oreo getting it center, but not able to find his teammate. The ball gets cleared out. Shaggy looking to follow. The team bump coming out from Faded as Hits is going to send this one all the way across. Shaggy to get it cleared past midfield. Shaggy's up for a second touch. Gets the 50, sends it back behind him. Panzers clears it out back into Banshees corner and off the back wall. Rilo dangerously sending it in front of his net, but Faded not able to capitalize on the event. Hits with the dunk, puts it off the backboard. Shaggy's there, and he slots it past 2 defenders. Oh, what happened? I thought Shaggy hit that. Hits gets it.
I mean, I had not heard of this guy's name until today, and he is just popping off. I think Shaggy just gave him a little motivation to put it where he needed to do it. Otherwise, that was getting saved pretty easily. So good placement and Hits. It seems like it's always him for Banshees. And I called on Faded to pop off early with the momentum they had, but that is the wrong direction for that goal to be going into the net of. So we'll see how they can bounce back.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work, they say. Shaggy giving Hits a little extra love to make sure that that one gets through the defense. Banshees taking the lead. Shaggy trying to get it across. Does get it past the defender, but a little bit too fast for any teammates to get there. Rilo
Oh,
bouncing it off the backboard, but Egster not having any of it and clearing the mess out of that ball to get it away from his net. Panzer gets it past one with a nice touch, but Banshee defense is going to remain strong with a little over 3 minutes left on the clock. Banshees still leading by one. Faded trying everything in the book to get this through and find the back of the net, but Banshee's defense just not having any of it. Rilo pops it up, looking for the touch off of the ceiling. He's going to hit crossbar down and out. Vicious Oreo to take that one and looking for the counterattack, but Shaggy off the backboard with a boomer to clear that one away as we reach the halfway point in this game. Hits trying to find the dunk. Shaggy finds a touch off the backboard, but Rilo can't beat out Panzer, and the ball gets sent back to the mid. And Pepperoni, both of these teams seem to be heating up, getting a lot faster moves on offense. And I was about to say that I'm not seeing a lot of pass plays, but the pass play coming out right there just doesn't find the back of the net.
in an open net miss from Shaggy. I mean, right now it seems like one team just throws so much at a potential attack and then they get beat out. So then it's like a one person back to make the hero play, and he keeps making it. And then they overcommit for the one guy back, and this is back and forth. Was one guy making the save, and I mean, who else is going to slot that home? It's Hits with yet another goal to make it a 2-0 lead.
Now, a bit of a rotational error there as Exter puts it into his corner, not expecting Hits to get to the ball that fast, and Panzer just not enough time to make his full rotation is what's going to send Banshees into a 2-0 lead in game number 3, looking mighty fine, and I'm sure they're feeling great at the prospect of them being at match point after this game ends. But with 1:40 left on the clock, still plenty of time for Faded to make a comeback, especially the way this roster has been playing and played in game number 2. Shaggy got a little bit of heat on him, trying to get it through. Vicious Oreo sticking with it, but Rilo to take it away from him. Egster keeping possession of the ball, but Hits is going to stay there. Panzer going to take it away from him, put a shot on net, and Faded cut the lead in half.
And it's just been panic for so long now on the defensive half of the Banshees. That's just a well-placed shot. Gets it around the diving defender. I thought for sure he was going to get a piece of that, and this game would be all but over. But with that goal coming through with plenty of time on the clock, you have to think the Banshees, they might let this one slip away, get to that overtime that we were definitely deserving of in game 2. Otherwise, it's be match point for Banshees.
Yeah, Banshees got to be careful if they're not able to get good clears on off of their saves. Faded is aggressive enough to just keep sending players in to take shots on floating balls, and and that is exactly how they got their first goal here in game number 3. Hits missing his touch in the midfield. Rilo there to help him out, sending it out of the corner. Panzer with the stop, sending it to the mid. And we got a rule 1 from Rilo and Vicious Oreo as they respect each other. We now devolve to a 2v2, and Shaggy with the demo on Panzer. Shaggy there with the ball. Has got a little bit of time to work with here. Panics a little bit, sends it down. Panzer waiting for it. Panzer gets the second touch around the defender, but Shaggy makes it back in time to get in front of Extra's shot. Panzer's there, though, as Hits isn't able to rotate fast enough, and with 10 seconds left on the clock, Faded tie this up, and that is a scary situation for Banshees. Pepperoni.
Looks like Panzer and Egster have been keeping up on their 2's gameplay, because they just owned every bit of that OT with demos and such. And tie game here is 10 seconds left. See who comes out on top.
We will see indeed, or will we have a 0-second goal perhaps, or will we have an overtime? Rilo to put this one down, looking for the overtime. Banshees with one win already in overtime, so they are looking to take their second win of the series in overtime fashion. Faded not interested in letting that happen, I'm sure, as Exter's up, gets the touch past one defender. Shaggy off the backboard to put it away. Vicious Oreo pops it up, but Hits is there to stick with it. Panzer trying to get it through, but it's going to get pinched to the other corner. Rilo sends it out to the midfield. Vicious Oreo can't stop Rilo's touch. Hits is up on the wall. 50s with Exter down to Panzer in the mid. Panzer sticking with it, but Shaggy is there, gets a touch. It goes a little bit high for anybody to be able to do anything with. Rilo putting a shot on net. Exter picking up his savior medal here in game number 3. Shaggy pops it up, looking to follow, looking to get a little bit mechanical with it, sends it, trying to send it down, but Vicious Oreo with a really good backboard read plays solid defense and allows his team to get it out of their defensive zone with a minute gone, or a minute gained, I guess you would say, here in this OT. Pepperoni. What are you seeing? Give us a little analytics on what's going down from each team.
I mean, it looks like teams are rushing their shots. They're not rushing, but taking too much time to go for balls. It's not a lot of you see the ball and you read it before it hits the wall. It's you're just waiting for it to hit, and then you're just getting 50'd out because the other guy did the same thing. So what's gonna be the difference maker is speed. He wins this game because it's a lot of opportunities that are just thrown away because you're playing a little too tentative and trying to take your time. Sometimes you got to risk it, try to beat out the defender if you're gonna get this game winning goal. Is right now, I think we just watched 3 of the exact same game, Psycho. I'm pretty sure 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much the exact same storyline. So I don't know if somebody mixed up the script for 5 different games, but I really hope for that to be the case.
Hopefully, really, you're right. Really, the only difference being is the 0-second goal in game number 2, which Faded was not able to reproduce. We are now at the 2-minute mark for this overtime. The overtime in game 1 going to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. The overtime in game 3 going to be at least a little bit longer. Panzer missing his touch. Vicious Oreo doesn't miss his, but doesn't get a very good shot. Just kind of puts one up towards the net. Banshees easily able to deflect it. Exter is up, finds the touch before Shaggy can get there, but Rilo there to help him out. Panzer popping it up, trying to keep possession for Faded, hits to get it away. And Exter pops that one in the midfield. Shaggy's up, gets the touch, puts it into Faded's corner. Rilo's there as well, but can't get it through the defense. And Exter going to clear this one out. Faded looking to start an offensive push here at the 3-minute mark, Pepperoni.
And with 3 minutes gone this overtime, I kind of expected it to be over by this time. Usually one of these teams crumbles from just, playing the same game for so long. Eventually a double quint's going to come out and leave somebody in a bad situation, but we're not seeing that. It's very sound rotations as a whiff does come through.
Oh!
And as I'm talking about the sound mechanics, that is not the way you expect this game to end.
Not at all. The floater just sort of lobs in. Looked like all 3 players back. Maybe a miscommunication coming out right there. But Faded is going to take the W in game number 3, and they're going to take the lead in the best of 5 series with 2 wins. They only need 1 more. Panzer scoring 666 points that game. That man is the devil.
It just ends with Faded winning 3-1. These are one of those games where it gets reported, oh, 3-1, Faded 1, okay. That was not a close series. But if you've watched these games, Banshees are getting screwed right now. They win game 1, they get robbed in game 2 with a last-second goal, a game that should have been theirs. And in this game, they're up 2-0 with about a minute and a half to go, and they let it slip away. So this is not at all what it looks like with a 2-1 lead for Faded. And I really want to see what they play like in the first 4 minutes, see how they play in the last minute, and maybe overtime if they have to, because this is a really painful way to lose 2 games so far for Banshees.
I fully agree. I'm fully expecting the Banshees to bounce back right here, right now. I think that it's going to be up to Rilo to step up, the captain of the Banshees, season 6 novice champion winner. I know that he's got what it takes to pop off. He has a very high pop off potential, and we'll see if he can put his team on his back here and get it done. Though not to take away from Hits has been playing spectacularly. So if Rilo can step up and play at the level that I know he's capable of, I'm pretty sure that we're going to definitely see a game 5. I'm pretty sure we're going to definitely, Pepperoni, pretty sure we're going to definitely see a game
sure.
5.
I saw the script. I'm pretty sure this ends in a 3-2 win for Banshees. We'll see how it goes. But right now, it's getting a little scary as Rilo is the guy you called on, and he's going to make the clear before an early goal comes through. That would have been the first for the Banshees, or for Faded.
Yes, it certainly would have been almost a minute gone now, and nobody has scored yet. We're seeing the same song and dance that we see from both of these teams. Both of these teams seem very, very close in skill and ability. And that is exactly what you love to see here. And with their records so close, Banshees looking to stay in the positive, and Faded looking to get back to a baseline of a 4-4 record moving forward. Panzer flicks it in the midfield, gets it through Rilo. Shaggy's there. He pops that one all the way up to the mid, finds hits, but hits shot not going to go towards the net. Panzer sends it out. Eggster helping him out in the midfield. Vicious Oreo going to bounce it off the sidewall. Panzer's there for the shot, and nobody from Banshee's able to get back in time. Faded once again taking the lead here in game number 4.
Somewhere Bagels is just losing his mind because somebody just hit it off the sidewall and it resulted in a goal. That's rule number one for Bagels. Just never hit it off sidewall on offense. It's a free clear, but when you get a beautiful shot like that, top bank, I mean, it's gonna work out. So first time I think we've seen Faded take an early lead here.
I think if I'm remembering correct, in game number 3, they took the lead first. They scored the first goal in game number 3, but it certainly helps to get another lead moving into the next game. And now Faded controlling the pace of the match here and forcing Banshees to play a little bit more aggressive, if you will, or a little bit more decisive if they are going to get through this Faded defense, as the Faded defense has been playing very strong this entire series, and they haven't shown any signs of letting up. Extra trying to find Vicious Oreo in the corner, not able to do anything as we reach the halfway point of game number 4. Faded still up by 1. Shaggy gets it around 1 and immediately demos him and gets the touch, but all 3 Banshee members sort of near the same ball. Panzer gonna take it up the sidewall, try and get a little bit fancy with it. The double commit coming out from the Banshees here as the panic starts to set in. Hits with the 50. It goes all the way out, and Shaggy trying to get a shot on net. Panzer to get in front of it. Under 2 minutes left on the clock. Banshee's still down by 1 here, Pepperoni. What do you think that they need to change up if they're going to bring themselves back?
I mean, I think they have to get a demo. I couldn't tell you the last time they went for a demo in the goalie. It seems like there's always one guy sitting in net, and there's never a rotation through the net. It's just immediately out. They're playing so safe, and they need a goal, or the series will end in a 3-1 loss. So, I mean, if when they're on offense, that guy that's rotating out has to have a much more aggressive rotation, or I think this is going to end in a 1-0 loss.
And that may very well be the case as time ticks down, and we are almost to the final 60 seconds of game number 4. Faded still in the lead. Banshees trying everything that they can think of to get the ball past the defenders. Shaggy putting it across the middle. Nobody from Banshees there to try and capitalize on a shot. Rilo missing his touch, but Shaggy there to help him out. Shaggy gets it past 1 in his defensive zone, sends it out to the mid, hits, popping it all the way up into Faded's territory. Hits, putting one on, but Vicious Oreo getting in front of it and picking up his savior medal in game number 4. In the final 30 seconds wind down, Banshees absolutely have to find something, and they have to find something quick. They are now up against the wall, looking at losing the entire series. His hits, puts it off the sidewall. Vicious Oreo pops it up, trying to follow, gets it past the defenders, and that is unfortunately, I think, going to be the dagger in the heart of the Banshee.
I cannot tell you how impressed I am with this Faded roster right now. I did expect them to win, but the way they're really against the wall, backs against the wall this entire series, but they managed to just play perfect Rocket League pretty much in this game 4 to close it out with everybody watching them. Everybody knows that this is usually where a team loses a game 4. You know, throw for content to the meme, but a lot of pressure does get on you whenever you have, you know, that game situation where you can win it all. As Rilo is going to get one for the road, but it's a bit too late. But I cannot say how impressed I am with this Faded roster. holding strong in this last game and really playing a great game of Rocket League.
I agree. Congratulations to Faded taking the fat dub here in a 3-1 fashion. They played their hearts out and they were able to walk home with the dub. Unfortunately for Banshees, they're going to have to go home the losers here tonight. However, I think both teams played really, really well. Banshees just unfortunately made a few more mistakes than Faded did, and Faded were able to capitalize on those mistakes. Faded looking like the stronger team in game number one, but Banshees pulling out the win and pulling out the and sending game number three into the overtime like that. I honestly expected to see a game number five here, but Faded doing a really good job to close out the series in game number four.
Yeah, and I mean, not the best way for that series to end, but probably the best if you're a fan of Faded, because that was a finally a convincing game for one of these two teams. I could not tell you who looked like the better team in the series until that last game. So that's all I care about is Faded finally showed me that they wanted it more and they played for it and they earned it very much so in that game four. But Banshees, that's a feels bad one right there because they had that all away. But very unfortunate first couple games that they didn't close out in game two for sure. But at the end of the day, I think you can be happy with that performance and figure some things out going into next week.
Most definitely. And both of these teams now moving forward with a 4-4 record in the Prospect League. So, got a little bit of work to do, but certainly not out of the race yet as we're still in the first half of season 7. So, hats off to Faded. Hopefully, they'll be able to move forward with the momentum and possibly get some more dubs come next week in our games. And I think that's pretty much going to wrap us up for game number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. But whenever we come back from a short break, we're going to be going for our third game. We're going to be going down into the Novice League where we have the Vandals with a 4-3 record going up against Ignite with the 1-6 record. Magic Pepperoni, I'd like to thank you for joining me here in the booth tonight. It is always a pleasure to cast alongside you.
Yes, sir. It was fun. Hopefully we find ourselves in the same time and place on Monday because having one stream a week is painful, but I'm sure we'll be back Saturday and Monday for some more bangers.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be back Saturday Night Rocket League as usual. 3 bangers. I think we might have 2 bangers right now, but hopefully we're looking maybe get a third one to flex over to Saturday. But regardless, we're gonna take a small break, ladies and gentlemen, about 4 or 5 minutes. Go and use the bathroom, get a refill on your drinks and or snacks, and we will be right back with some Novice League